so now we'll be starting with the example session for clock and calendar, the example session. So we're done with the theory session. I'll do one thing and just we'll just have a quick recap so you sort of have an idea of how the theory session was. If you've already watched it, I highly suggest you to watch it, because when you do the example session, obviously, to do questions, you will need parts of theory that we have already done, right? So just go through the theory session before you watch the example session. Okay, I'll just take you through a very quick recap. But if you have not watched the theory session, do watch the theory session. For any chapter, any subject, watch the theory session first and then watch the example session. Okay, I mean, that's pretty obvious, but still. So first, the basic structure of a clock. We just mainly two things that you need to know: the minute hand and the hour hand. Okay, and just basic things. 1 minute is 60 seconds. That's the basic major thing that you need to know. That was it. And then we had a couple of points under clock. Basically, when are the hands of a clock in a straight line? Okay, when they are coincident and opposite to each other. When do the hands of a clock occur at right angle? How often does this happen? Twice in an hour. When do the hands of a clock occur in a straight line? Once in an hour. When do the hands of a clock coincide? Again, once in an hour. The explanation of how this works and all of that, we have explained that in the theory session. That's why we take a theory session in the first place, right? This is just a recap. I won't be giving any explanation or things like that. Just go watch the theory session for that. But yeah, this is a quick recap. And then we just did 2 questions on the clock, and then we moved to calendar. So basic, a day has 24 hours, a week has 7 days. There are the months in a year, and which all months have 31 days, which all months have 30 days. February has 29 days in a leap year and 28 days on all other years. That, and what a century is, and what we mean by an ordinary year and a leap year. Okay, and this thing also, that leap years are divisible by 4. Okay, that's what we had under calendar. And then some extra points. Basically, how do you find the day in a next year if you have 2 consecutive ordinary years? Okay, right, so you can also have a case where you have a leap year, right? So if you have a leap year, how do you find the day in the next year? For that, we have a question with this case, and we'll be solving it, so you will get to know then. Okay, just stay tuned. Right, and then just basic things, in an ordinary year, the first and last days of the year will be the same. And the days that cannot be the first day of a century: Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. The last day of a century cannot be Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, right? Things like that. And then we did some more questions under calendar. That's it. So that's basically all you have under clock and calendar. The name is pretty obvious, right? You have things on clock and then you have things on calendar. So just you need to know the basic structure of a clock and then a couple of points, and then a basic structure of the calendar and then a couple of points, and that's it. That's all you have. There's not a lot of theory, but there is some things that you need to by heart. Right, so for example, the days that cannot be the first day of a century, the days that cannot fall on the last day of a century, things like that. So some things are there which you need to by heart. Other than that, this is a largely fun, easy, interesting chapter. Okay, so let's begin. If day after tomorrow is Tuesday, then what day of the week will it be on 2 days after the day after tomorrow? So basically, let's take today here. Okay, day after tomorrow is Tuesday. So this is today, and say this is tomorrow. This is day after tomorrow. Day after tomorrow is Tuesday. We'll write it as TU. Why are we writing it as TU? Because if we write as T, we could also confuse it with Thursday, right? There is a possibility that T can mean either Thursday or Tuesday. So when you have T as a day of a week, write it as TU. Okay. Then what day of the week will it be on 2 days after the day after tomorrow? So very simple, just take 2 days after this. So after Tuesday, if you take 2 days, you will get Wednesday here, Thursday here, right? So the day will be a Thursday. Simple as that. So what concept did you need here? Nothing, nothing big. You just needed to know the order of the days of a week. That, if you do not know, just learn. It's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. For Saturday, Sunday also just write Sa is Sunday, Sa is Saturday. This was not really needed, but yeah. Friday. Okay, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That is the days of the week in that order. If you do not know, learn that. Okay, done. Moving on. If day before yesterday was Thursday, when will Sunday fall? Again, just draw today in a bracket. Okay, we'll do one thing, but we need to, how do we show that it is today? Just let this be today. Okay, when you have such a bracket, let this mean today. This is yesterday, this is day before yesterday. Day before yesterday was a Thursday. When will Sunday fall? Okay, so when does Sunday come? Basically second day after today, a day after tomorrow. So look after, so after Thursday, when will you get the Sunday? We are not looking, see, you can, if you're asked for a day, you can either look before or after, right? So if you go backwards, when will Sunday come? Or you can see, if you go frontwards, when will Sunday come? Here we are looking at frontwards because most of the options you have has after here, right? So after, you have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So when is Sunday? Sunday is after 3 days, but that's not the point here. It is tomorrow. How do we know it's tomorrow? Because here for today we drew a bracket. So this is today that we're talking about. Day before yesterday was Thursday. So from Thursday we got to know how we get Sunday based on our knowledge of the days, and then that we correlated with what today is. Okay, so Sunday comes one day after today. Basically Sunday is tomorrow. Okay, that's how you get tomorrow. Okay, moving on. If day before yesterday was Thursday, when will Sunday fall? Oh, this is actually the same question, right? So we'll just ignore this for now. The same answer tomorrow, right? Moving on. If the time now is 2:30 p.m., what will be the time after 150 minutes? Okay, so here you need to have an idea. So instead of, just counting 150 minutes, just try to write this in terms of hour. How many hours is 150 minutes? Okay. Basically, write this. So you know that 1 hour is how many minutes? 60 minutes, right? Okay. Now, how can you write 150 in terms of 60? Okay. So basically what I need to do here is I need to write 60, like 60, something of 60 is 150. It might be 2 into 60. What is 2 into 60? 2 sets of 60 minutes each. That's 2 hours. It might be 3 into 60. I'm not sure. So here I need to see how do I get 60 from, how do I get 150 from 60? Just try dividing 150 by 60. What is 150 by 60? This gets cut. 6 2s are 12, right? So it's 12 point something. We don't want the exact division. That's not what we are looking for. The point here is not to say if you can divide. In fact, for intelligence question, your division skill is rarely used. Most questions are based on addition, and then there could be multiplication, subtraction. Division skills are rarely used. It's mainly addition that's most used, and then comes subtraction, I would say, and then multiplication. Division is rarely used. Okay, so here basically it's 2 something. So basically what have we gotten? That 60, if you take 60 two times, you get something that is less than 150. Basically just try doing 60 into 2. 2 zeros is 0, 2 6 are 12, 120 minutes. So 120 minutes is basically 60 done 2 times. 60 minutes is 1 hour. So when you do 60 minutes 2 times, what are you doing? You're doing 1 hour 2 times, right? So here 120 minutes is basically 2 hours. Okay, because it's 60 into 2. So 60 minutes into 2 means 1 hour into 2. So if 60 minutes into 2 is 120 minutes, 1 hour into 2 is 2 hours. Okay, so basically what you're doing here is 2 hours. 2 hours is just 120 minutes. Now from 120, how do you get 50? Subtract. There isn't much to divide, right? It's pretty close. So 150 minus 120 gives you 0 minus 0, 5 minus 2, 3, 1 minus 1, 0, 30. So 150 minus 120 is 30 minutes. So basically when we say 150 minutes, what we mean is essentially 2 hours 30 minutes. When we say 150, what we mean is just 2.5 hours. Okay, now this might seem like a very long complicated process, but once you're used to this, it's very easy to find out. So you can also just learn this, 60 minutes is 1 hour, 90 minutes is 1.5 hours, 120 minutes is 2 hours. These are things that will be very useful. 150 minutes is 2.5 hours, and 180 minutes is 3 hours. You can just learn this if you want to. 60 is 1 hour, 90 is 1.5, 120 is 2, 150 is 2.5, 180 is 3 hours. You can just learn this if you want to, okay? So here we've gotten 150 is 2.5 hours. So basically what I want to find here is the time that is 2.5 hours after 2:30 p.m. So just take 2:30. What is 2 hours after 2:30? It will be 3:30, 4:30, right? So when we mean 2 hours after 2:30, 1 hour after 2:30 is 3:30, 1 more hour after 2:30, after 3:30 is 4:30. Now what is 30 minutes plus 4:30? Basically what happens when you add half an hour to 4:30, you get 5 p.m. So what will be the time after 150 minutes? 5 p.m. Okay, so either you can do this calculation might look complex now, but once you're used to it, it's very simple. But what is even better is if you can learn this. I'll just change the color. Basically what is even better is if you can learn this. 60 minutes is 1 hour, 90 minutes is 1.5 hours, 120 minutes is 2 hours, 150 minutes is 2.5 hours, 180 minutes is 3 hours. If you can learn this, it is even better. Okay, moving on. Now we have example 5. If 1st January 2024 is a Monday, what day of the week will be 1st January 2025? This is the question I told you about, where I said, basically you have a leap year. So if you have okay, now there's a question for you guys. Do not look at your notes, okay? If you have an ordinary year, between 2 consecutive ordinary years, if you have a day, like for example, if I tell you that 1st January 2022 is a Monday, what day will be 1st January 2023? Basically, if you have 2 consecutive ordinary years and you know that the day of one date, what will be the day of that date? This we had learned this in notes. Let me see if you remember. We just revised it also. I'll give you just a minute to think about it and let me know if you remember. Okay, I think that's enough time. So basically, this is what you need to add is plus 1 day. So if 1st January 2022 was a Monday, 1st January 2023 will be a Tuesday. That's how it works. All you need to add is plus 1 day. I'll show you that notes in case in case you guys don't trust me. I mean, I don't trust myself either. So right, so in any 2 consecutive years, a date in the next year will generally be 1 day ahead of the same date of the previous year. Okay, what do you need to do? You need to find 1 day ahead, and that's what we've done here. So basically, where is it? Yeah, so if 1st Jan 2022 is a Monday, then 1st Jan 2023 will be a Tuesday. Okay, so that is how you find it for 2 ordinary years. This is what was given in the note, but now we have an extra situation. The problem here is this is not an ordinary year. What is 2024? Basically next year. What will next year be? Next year is going to be a leap year. Do you guys find that interesting? When I used to be younger, I used to find leap years very interesting. I used to look forward to leap years. I don't know why, but yeah, I used to find it interesting. But yeah, so yeah, next year is going to be a leap year. Pretty interesting. I cannot believe we are more than halfway through this year already. It seems like years just run away, fly away, just time flies, literally. Anyway, what day of the week will be on 1st January? So now if you have one leap year at the beginning, okay, what is the formula? So if you have leap year at the beginning, what you need to do is, otherwise you add one day, right? Like in this case, we added plus 1 day. If there's a leap year at the beginning, what you do is you add plus 2 days. So for 2 consecutive years where you have a leap year first, then what do you add? Instead of adding plus 1 day, you add plus 2 days. Okay, so here if this was a Monday, the day of the week will be Tuesday, Wednesday. How do you get this? Basically, it's very simple. The logic is very simple. What is special about a leap year when you compare it with an ordinary year? You have one extra day, right? That is literally the only specialty leap year has. You have one extra day in a leap year. So when you compare, so see, from it is ordinary year to ordinary year, if it is plus 1 day, when this ordinary year becomes a leap year, what is a leap year? It's basically ordinary year plus 1 day, right? So when this ordinary year becomes a leap year, all you have is ordinary year plus 1 day. So then you just, here if you're adding plus 1 day, here since you already have plus 1 day because of a leap year, you make it plus 2 days. That's it. It's as simple as that. So since leap year is ordinary year plus 1 day, you just add this plus 1 also, and then it will be plus 2 days. Okay. Moving on. The last day of the century cannot be either Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. This again is something that you have in your notes. I know you might not necessarily remember this, but just try to, just guess. Let's see how good your guesswork is. Yeah, so just try to guess which of these options. You also have options. These options are also useful in one sense. I'm not telling you how, just try to figure out how these options are useful, okay? I'll give you a minute. Okay, basically, so what is the answer? Okay, I'll tell you first of all what that how options are useful. So if you remember, for the both first day and last day of the century, so for both first and last day of the century, you have 3 days. Okay, the last day cannot be 3 days, and the first day can also not be 3 days. So it is likely to be these two options, but then again you have the case that not all days are mentioned, right? So it can also be these two options, but if you had say all days mentioned, then these options would be useful in the sense that you can say it will be either C or D. And so anyway, the answer to this, actually I'm not sure myself, I don't remember. If I were to guess, I would say, I would say, okay, I think this is Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. I would say that this is Saturday, Wednesday, Friday. I have a very strong feeling I'm wrong, but I think this, okay, I will just check. I don't remember. We'll see. Basically, oh, it's Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday. I'm wrong, but I got some things right. Okay, let's see. It's Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday. I wrote Saturday, Wednesday, Friday. So, okay, I got 1 day right. I mean, yay, I at least got 1 day right. How many days did you get right? I'm actually very curious to know. So, I got 1 day right, but yeah. So, Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday is the answer, okay? So, the last day cannot be Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday. So, it cannot be 1, 2, and 3. So, C is the answer. Okay, it's not 1, 2, and it's not 1, 4. So, we'll just go back and we'll just try to, memorize this. First day cannot be Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Last day cannot be Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Let's just try to find something easy to remember this. Let's do one thing. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Right? Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. In this, Monday is not included in anything. So we just cut Monday off. Monday can be anything. Now, first day cannot be. So let's look at the first day first. What can the first day not be? Oh, all the alternate dates. Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. So for the first day, you take the alternate day. Okay, you start from the alternate. So you do not start from M, start from what is alternate to M, W, and then go to the alternates. Okay, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. And for the last day, you take the other three alternative values, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Okay, so see, there is a certain pattern. These are not random dates, right? So there is a basically the alternate the first alternates you take for Wednesday for the first day. For the last day, you take the second set of alternates. Okay, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and that's it. You're done. Okay, moving on. So we have learned a good trick to learn these days. Okay, so that's also another way, you know, when you get answers wrong. So, you know, you memorize something and then you get an answer wrong and you'll be like, man, I shouldn't have gotten this wrong. Why did I get this wrong? So then you try to devise more interesting ways to actually get that answer right. So it's very useful that way, you know. So getting answers wrong is a good thing. Okay, always, not just getting answers wrong, failing in life, not getting what you want. All of these are essentially good things. Because failure will always teach you something if you're willing to learn. You need to be a person who's open-minded. You need to be a person who's willing to learn. If you are, failures, have you heard this? Failures are the stepping stones to success. It's pretty cheesy. I'll just say failures are useful. Okay, I'll just draw a little heart. This is my heart for you guys. Okay, anyway, moving on. Right, okay. What will be the angle between the minute and hour hands of a clock at 6:45 p.m.? Okay, let's try drawing 6:45 p.m. Let's try drawing a clock first. I am very bad at drawing. I'll just try if I can insert a circle, because I think that will be better than than me trying to draw. Okay. Okay, hope this seems like a clock to you guys. Okay, so now what will be the angle between the minute and hour hands of a clock? So let's say here you have 12. This is how a clock is, right? You have 3, you have 6, you have 9. When, let this be the center. When you say 6:45, the hour hand will be at 6. I mean, it won't exactly be at 6. The hour hand will be, you know, somehow between 6 and 7, but we'll just draw it around 6. The minute hand will be at 9, right? So when you say 45, the minute hand will be at 9. If you do not know this, go learn this. So basically 1 is 5. So like when you say 12:5, the minute hand will be at 1. When you say 12:10, that's where 2 is. Basically this number into 5. 3 5s are 15, right? 4 5s are 20. 5 5s are 25. 6 6 are 30. So when you say 5:30, the minute hand will be at 6. So similarly 9 5s are 45. This is where it will be at when you say into 5. Okay. Now, what is the angle at 6:45 p.m.? So there are two angles here. When you say there's one angle is this and the second angle is this. What is this angle? Can you see something? Is this a right angle? Yes, right. It's a right angle. This is a right angle. So since this is a right angle, this is 90 degree. Now, I need to find this angle. How do I find this angle? Do you see that? I'll switch to a different color again. Do you see that what we have here is a circle? This is a circle, right? What is the angle of a circle? It's 360 degree. Okay, when we say a circle, the angle that we mean is 360 degree. Okay, so now the angle of a circle is 360 degree. From this, we need to reduce this part. Okay, we need a circle, but circle without this part. Basically, we need a circle with just this part. So what are we reducing? We are reducing this part, which is 90. So basically we need to do 360 minus 90. Okay, 0 minus 0 is 0, 16, 2, 7. Okay, 9 plus 7 is 16. Right, because see, 7 plus 7 is 14, 15, 16, right? And then you have 2 here. The answer is 270 degrees. Answer is 270 degrees, okay? So now the question is why 270 and not 90? Usually when you talk of the angle in a clock, okay, what we talk of is the clockwise angle. And the clockwise angle for, like for example, I'll show it to you one second. I need one more clock. Let's keep this here. Okay. So when we take time at about 30 at like, you know, till the minute hand being here, it is taken as in this diagram. Like for example, if you say 12:15, we usually consider this. So it's like, see, how we consider time is basically you start it from 12. So if it is 12:15, you consider like this. The starting point is usually taken as 12, right? So when you consider the angle, you sort of try beginning it from here. So if it is 12:15, this is the angle. You don't have to take this big angle. If it's 12:30, you take this. If it's 12:45, you take this. Okay. So, and you know, usually for like 45, such big numbers, you take the outer obtuse angle. I mean, usually you won't have that doubt since they will not give 90 in the option because they know, you know, I mean, if you say that the angle is 90, it's not exactly wrong either because the angle between these two lines is 90, right? So they won't give that. It's not a problem. But usually what we do is you start from 12 and then you go clockwise. Okay, which is why here we've gotten this. But in either case, you guys don't have to worry because when such questions are given, they won't give both of these options. They won't give 270 and 90 together because they understand, right? If somebody said that the angle here is 90, they can't say it's wrong. It's just that the angle they expect is usually seen from this. But it's not necessary for you guys to know this. I just thought I'll mention it. Moving on. If time now is 11:40 p.m., what will be the time after 90 minutes? Now this, like I told you guys, it is useful that you learn the minutes of 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours. So 1 hour is basically 60 minutes, 1.5 hours is 90 minutes, 2 hours is 120 minutes, 2.5 hours is 150 minutes, 3 hours is 180 minutes. Okay. So, right. So 90 minutes is 1.5 hours. It's very easy. Now, if you did not know this, also just try finding 90 from 60, right? You know that 60 plus 30 is 90. How do you get this? Just do 90 minus 60. 90 minus 60 gives you 30. So, you know 60 plus 30 is 90. You know 60 minutes is 1 hour and you know 30 minutes. 1 hour 30 minutes. That is 1.5 hours. Okay. Now, how do you find 1.5 hours? If the time now is 11:40 p.m., what is 1 hour? What is 11:40 plus 1 hour? It is 12:40. Okay. So, now what is half an hour plus 12:40? It is 1:10. How do you get this though? So, there are two ways. What I find easier is looking at the clock, but if that's difficult, just do 12:40 plus 30. You're doing 30 minutes, right? So, keep it here. So, 40 plus 30 is 70. Now, you know that 60 minutes is 1 hour, right? So, I mean, nobody says 12:70, right? 12:70 is not a time. Why? Because this is, if you see 60 minutes, you take it as 1 hour. So, try finding 70 minus 60. 70 minus 60 is 10. Alright. So, add 1 hour. So, 70 minutes can be written as 1 hour 10 minutes, right? Because 70 minutes can be written as 60 minutes plus 10 minutes. Since 60 minutes is 1 hour, 70 minutes can be written as 1 hour plus 10 minutes. So, when you add 1 hour to 12, what do you get? 13. To 13, if you add this 10, you get 13:10. Now, what is 13? So, 13 is basically that what comes after 12, right? So, the hour after 12. So, we just write it as 13. So what is the hour after 12? What do you get after 12? You go back to 1, right? So 1 is the answer. But now the problem is, basically this is 1:10, okay? But you have 1:10 p.m. You also have 1:10 a.m. Which one will it be? Just use your common sense. 11:40 p.m. is night, right? So after 11:40 p.m., after 12 p.m. night, what happened? So, okay, after 11:40 p.m., when it becomes 12, does it become 12 a.m. or p.m.? It becomes 12 a.m., right? At night, we say the time is 12 a.m., right? So 12 is basically the time when AM changes to PM and vice versa, right? So if something is at PM, at 12 it will become AM. If something is AM, at 12 it will become PM. So basically, if you have 11 AM, right, the next hour will not be 12 AM, it will be 12 PM, right? So that is basically what happens. So if something is at PM, it will become AM. If something is at AM, it will become PM. So here, since it's PM, at 12 it will become AM. So then at 1 also that same thing will follow. So the answer is 1:10 AM. Okay, basically just some basic things you need to know is mainly this. 70 will be written as 60 plus 10, and 60 means you add 1 hour to 12. After 12 the hour that you get is 1. Okay, that's just the basic things you need to know. Moving on. Today is Monday. It will be dash after 61 days. Okay, so we know that today is a Monday. I need to know what will it be after 61 days. How do you do this? So first we try to find out, here we are playing with weeks, right? So we just try to use this concept of weeks. A week is how many days? A week is 7 days. We try to use this concept. Basically, if it is a Monday today, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. When will it be the next Monday? When do you get the next Monday? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So after 7 days, you get the same day. Okay. If it is a Monday today, after 7 days, you will get the same day. Okay. Now you have 61. You try to write the 61 in terms of 7. Right, so 7 into something plus how many days is what we need to find. So how do you try to get the 61 in terms of 7? You divide 61. You don't need to do the whole division, just a rough idea. So when from 7, when do you get a value that's like close to 61, right? So let's see, 7 nines are 63. No, this is more than 61. So let's go to the one right below. 7 8. 7 8s are 56. 56 is a good idea, but 63 you see is closer to 61. So let's take 63 itself. Okay. So now if I take 63 here, basically after 9 weeks, you know that 63 days is basically 9 weeks. Now that is also going to be a Monday. Why? Because we just figured out, you know, after 7 days it will be a Monday. So after 7 into 2 days also it will be a Monday. Because what is 7 into 2? 7 into 2 is just 7 plus 7, right? So after 7 days it's a Monday. If you if you add another 7 days, it will again be a Monday, right? So that's what 7 days means, right? So this is a Monday. If you add another, again it will be a Monday. If you add another 7 days, it will again be a Monday, right? So it's simple that way. So now what do you do? You have 7 nines are 63. So you know that 63 days means after 63 days it will fall on a Monday itself. Why? Because 63 is a multiple of 7. And you know that 7 days, 7 into, so this is 7 into 1. 7 into 1 days is a Monday. 7 into 2 days is also Monday. 7 into 3 days is also Monday. Similarly, 7 into 9 days will also be a Monday, 63. Now from the 63, but we don't want 63, we want 61. So if after 63 days, if it's a Monday, what is after 62 days? Just go 1 day behind. That's a Sunday. If after 63 days it's a Monday, after 62 days it will be a Sunday, after 61 days it will be a Saturday. Saturday is your answer. Okay. So basically we got 63. From that we just went twice. We went back. So Monday minus 1 is Sunday. Sunday minus 1 is Saturday. Okay. That's how you find these questions. These kind of questions are not very frequently asked, but if you can sort of understand how to do these kinds of questions, you can do a lot of complex questions. Not that they are asked frequently, but I thought I'll just include it, you know. Moving on. If 1st January of a leap year falls on a Friday, which day of the week will be 1st January of the next year? Now, this is the same thing that we discussed in a question that we just did in the same session, right? So, if you have a leap year first, how do you find the day of the week for the next year. How many days do you need to add? So I'll give you a moment, see if you can remember. Okay, don't go check your notes, just see if you can remember. Okay. Right. So the answer is plus 2 days. Like I discussed it with you guys just some time ago. For an ordinary year, you add plus 1 day. Since in a leap year you have 1 day extra, you need to add plus 2 days. Okay. So that's just how you do it. So if 1st January falls on a Friday, the 1st January of the next year will be Friday plus 2 days, which is Saturday, Sunday. Okay, and so Sunday is the answer. And so we have done questions from clock and calendar. Now this chapter, how do people see this chapter? Some people see this chapter as tough because some concepts, like we did from the clock and calendar, it's a bit tough for some people. So just do questions. That's all there is. See, the thing about intelligence is, like the way you see in social or maths, you don't have a lot of theory. In maths, basically the thing is you have theory plus you need to practice questions. In intelligence, you don't have a lot of theory. The only thing you need to do is practice questions. You don't have to spend time studying theory, right? So the only thing that's expected of you from doing intelligence questions is basically practicing. So practice more and more questions is the only thing that is basically expected from you, right? So this is the only thing that you need to do when you do intelligence. So we have discussed, so that's why in our theory class also you would have noticed I always give questions after every topic, right? There are some topics where we only do questions. So we had a theory class for, I think, logical order of words. It was just questions. And then we had another example class also which was just questions, because that chapter I had literally no theory, right? So it's important that you practice more and more questions. That's how you master intelligence as a subject, right? So we're done with clock and calendar.